Good morning on a Monday. I find it kind of nice to start the week out with yin and a little bit of calmness instead of getting up in the morning and just like, okay, it's Monday. Let's just start, rush, rush, rush. We're going to work on pelvic floor this morning, which is the human junk drawer. We haven't done that really since October. But I want to get our meridians really active so we can really dump all of the energy, bad energy that's on that we carry in our pelvic floor. So, do you remember a couple weeks ago I introduced some oil on the yin of the foot? If you guys can grab an oil, if it's not too far, and we'll just put it in our hands and you rub the yin or the well of the foot until it's warm, and that's going to activate all of the meridians so we can take in some good long breathing oxygen in a clockwise position. There's no real yin and yang to getting the oil into the well of the foot. And if you remember me talking, it's because all of the meridians settle in this part of the foot. So it's just like cupping your hands together and rubbing them back and forth until they feel warm. And then sliding them on a certain part of your body to warm it up. This is the same principle. Plus, it smells nice, huh? Okay. Nice, calming, slow moved class. I like that on a Monday. I'm sitting up on a little blanket. I don't talk to anybody, so my voice is not clear. So I'm going to take a couple minutes and just close down the eyes and breathe and concentrate on that it's Monday, just today, not what's going to happen tomorrow. Try to bring yourself into the movement of some early morning self-care, some peace of mind. So whether you put your hand on your heart or your belly, or you hold your hands, or you put your arms out to the side, whatever works for you, and just take a moment to breathe and relax. Stay calm. Hopefully your belly has moved from your chest to your tummy to your pelvic floor or your Buddha belly. It hasn't. Take the next couple breaths. Try to get all the clean air, that deep, all the stale air out. Okay. Again, I apologize for my voice. I've been a little under the weather this weekend. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or nothing, but I've been a little bit tired. Um, we're going to start with banana pose to lengthen our spine, lengthen our bodies from sleeping or sitting all weekend, but it's a little bit different this week as far as the movement. We'll all move it into the banana, and we'll do it with the yin yang as far as timing it goes. But I'm going to demonstrate sitting up, and then we'll do it when we're laying down. I want you to do it when you're laying down. If you see your arm and you're going to be stretching it, do you notice how if you just push it up a little farther, you get a little bit more of a stretch and things become active? And then bring it down and let it rest. Take it up, make it a little bit more active, and bring it down and let it rest. You can do the same thing with your leg. You can feel your leg move out from this hip, pushing it down. You can actually feel this hip now is lower than the left side, and bring it in. Push it out and bring it in. Now, the secret to do this is the pelvic floor, which means we want to focus on trying to get the flat part of our back down on the floor. Shoulders are broad. We're in the center of our mat. Our feet are flexed. We're going to bring our hands overhead. Okay, we're going to bring our hands overhead. Now, in yin, of course, you hold your positions, but there's no reason that actually throughout the held positions, you are to focus on trying to stretch your edge a little farther. I didn't have time this weekend, but I want to educate myself and you guys on after we've stretched our fascia on a Monday morning, how long does that benefit stay with us? I'll let you know when I get that information. So we move our hips to the left, feet to the right, arms to the right. In that C position, shoulders are flat. Breathe, and as you breathe, take that leg, the left leg, push it out, bring it in. You'll notice a pull in the pelvic floor. Left arm push up, bring down, and there you'll notice a activity between the shoulder blades. Do those very slowly, holding in between. Maybe 5 each. It's a subtle movement, but it's a big movement. And hold and stretch. Big morning stretch. Leg out and in. Arm out and in. Do both of them at the same time. And you'll feel big stretch on your left side. Opening up that belly and all those organs that are under the belly. Clean out our junk drawer today. Back to the center. Bring your knees in. Give them a nice morning hug. Roll that spine around that you just laid flat on the floor and expected it to become active. Bring the tailbone off the ground a little. And we'll move to the other side. So raise your hips. Take them to the right. Legs are down, over in the corner. Arms are up, over in the corner. Rest for a moment. And then do your work on your tug pull. Tug and pull. And tug and pull. Tug and pull. Checking those shoulders, making sure they're flat. Checking your spine, making sure it's flat. This is not my better side. To have my low back completely on the floor. Push, pull. Push, pull. Breathing deep, breathing relaxed, enjoying the moment, enjoying the quiet. Try to push, pull again. Fewer, but powerful. Maybe even the inside of your hip is responding to this. In here, the bottom of the pelvic floor, which is what we want. Make lots of room in there for our liver and all our organs to move. Give them space. Okay, come back to center. Maybe do a little windshield wiper with the knees. Rolling the hips instead of the back. Just sway back and forth for a moment. So if you have your blocks, grab your blocks. We're going to do a butterfly. Soles of the feet together. Take the blocks, support your thighs. Your work here will be gradually to try to bring the feet closer to the body as you check your edge. Also being able to, as you check your edge, lower your block. See if your hip has allowed it to open a little more this morning. Opening up that whole pelvic area, tummy area, organ area, to have a lot of room to move around, do its work freely. Place your arms wherever they're happy. On your heart, if you want to feel your heart. Feel how fast or how slow it's pounding. Is it working with your breath? Hand on the belly. Bring the two movements together, the heart and the belly and the breath. It's time to check your edge. See if you can turn your blocks on the side. Have your hips opened up a little bit more. Can you bring your feet closer to your body without pain? Two energy points on the bottom of the feet are now connecting. So our breath and our fluid are doing a complete circle up and down and around, up and down and around, and hitting the vagus nerve, which goes through every one of our organs and sends it blood and oxygen, which allows the fascia to move and stretch. I'm really anxious to know that question, how long the fascia lasts after we've stretched it out. But I'll find out and I'll let you know. I love to research. Okay, bring your knees in. Push your blocks to the side. Next on the pelvic floor is to bring the knees in to the shoulders like this. You can hold your ankles, allow this part of your arm to push your knees out a little. You can bring your feet to cobbler, allowing the energy in the ball of the foot to travel from one another. This is an excellent pose to really be able to feel a flat back. Feel the point of the hips at the top of the booty, really hitting the floor. If you don't like hanging out here, feel free to take your blocks from under the heel of your feet and let them rest. Really opening the inside of the hips. Pelvic area laying nice and flat now. It's got a lot of room to expand. And breathe. These yin movements are just, for me, they just feel so good, particularly when you understand that your fascia is getting fluid and oxygen that it normally doesn't get because we're getting older, number one. And number two, we're moving too fast during the day. Move any props that you may have accumulated during the pose. Bring your feet down. Just do a couple, maybe back bends, raising, allowing the pelvic area to open to the earth, the heavens. Roll down slow, either bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra, or all one flat. That's your option when doing a baby back bend. Just moving the spine a little. And next up, let's take our block, put it under your back for supported bridge. And we're doing this morning with the arms at goalposts, our feet at either side of the block. And we're doing this to continue to open up the junk drawer, the whole torso, stretch it out, breathe into it, let it feel flat. Massage that tummy a little bit with some finger points. It's kind of like a tapping, but slower. Goalpost arms, shoulders are flat, head is flat, sitting nicely at the top of your spine. Watch your knees, don't let them cave in. Keep them looking at the ceiling. I hope you're feeling a difference in your pelvic floor. I am. In any of these pelvic exercises, once you've opened up your junk drawer, your pelvic area, feel free to do some Kegels. It also exercises the bun when you do a Kegel, and it exercises the kidney. It's supposed to do like 170 of them a day or something. That doesn't happen. Strengthen those muscles. Let them relax so you can pull them tighter. A good Kegel. Watch your knees. They have a tendency to roll in. Okay. Now, while you're up on the block, bring your knees in and just take your legs up as if we were doing feet at the wall. A little bit of an inversion pose. It's good for the circulatory system. You don't have to be real stiff. You can point and flex your feet a little. Move your ankles around a little, allowing those hips to lay on that block. And that part of the back, that flat part of the back, is really getting some activity to ground. Feel free to bring a knee in and pull it. Bring the other knee in and hold it. Take him back up and let that blood flow down. Hands on your belly. I hope I'm talking a little louder this week. I was not talking loud enough last week. I have that problem. When I quiet everything down, it seems as though I quiet my voice too, and then no one can hear me. But I'm a young teacher. I'm learning as long as I've been doing yoga for 20 years. It's still a new adventure. Knees in, feet on the floor. Very carefully lift up your back. Remove your block. Your block. And rest your spine. Now the next pose, oh, I can't remember the name of it. We usually do sitting up, but we're going to do it laying down. It could be called a laying down pigeon. It can be called a laying down figure four. Take your right leg and bring it back. Lay it down, bring it back. Can you see back in here? You need to feel a real stretch in here. The pelvic areas also has now moved to the right. Bring this leg over. This left hip is in the air. Like I said, it's usually a pose that we do sitting up, but we're doing it laying down. Foot is flat. Your other foot, if you want. Grab it with your left hand. Warm it up. It does a lot of work for you all day. It holds your whole structure up. Give it a little attention. Watch the knee. Make sure it doesn't collapse. Keep it up to the ceiling. Nice pose. We are doing 3-minute holds. I talked about doing a 4-minute hold, but I think it depends upon the class. And the pose. Are you feeling less activity in the front of your hip? Has it relaxed a little bit more than when you first moved into the pose? Those are the things to pay attention to and to breathe into. Okay. Bring your knee up and over. Uncross your other. Your windshield wipers. And we'll move to the other side to keep things nice and balanced. So this foot comes back. Grab those toes. Bring this knee over, or this foot over. This hip goes to the ceiling. Now, you may need to prop your knee or push your foot out farther. And then your edge will be to try to get your foot up snuggled underneath your bun. Your right hip, yes, is off the floor, but your shoulders are flat. They're not. You're opening up right in here, this part of the organ area that connects down to the bottom of the junk drawer. Throw the stuff out. Throw the out. The bad feelings, the craziness. The world moving too fast. Little woo-woo energy medicine there for you guys. Warm up that foot. Say thank you to it. It does a lot of work all day. I'm finding my knee is falling flatter to the mat, so it's learned to relax, and that's the point. Oh, this doesn't hurt. It's that fascia that is stretched over that muscle and that ligament, and it has allowed it to move down closer to the grounding of the earth. Okay, this is good. Unwrap. Bring your knees together. Windshield wiper them back and forth. I think we've had a lot of activity on our back. So let's sit up, structure the headband. Let's come over on all fours, do a couple cat cows, give some reverse movement to the back. Hands are under the shoulders, toes are tucked. Nice up, deep down. Good look forward. Just roll out. Okay, now because I have healthy knees, I tend to neglect to show people that don't have healthy knees. If you take a blanket or a bolster and put them behind your knees like this, then it's not so difficult to sit back because you're not sitting as far. I happen to have very good knees, so I can sit all the way down. We're going to move into a really nice, calm child's pose, bringing our chest as close to the floor as we can, counteracting all the back work that we did this morning. Go ahead and move into it. I have to find out what happened with my timer. Okay, so balls, the big feet are together, knees are out. You can come down on a block, you can come down on a blanket. You can rest your arms forward, you can rest your arms back. You can do a bind. Whatever works for you this morning. This is the pose we should do every day. Nice child's pose. Allowing our belly and our pelvic floor to retreat some. Really listen to your breath. This is a good pose to do Ujjayi breathing if that's a breath that you enjoy. One of my favorite poses. Okay, bring yourself up. Little cat cow. Now, if you're not good at keeping your back nice and straight, feel free at this point to go to a wall in the back of the bed. But you're going to take your blocks. You're going to sit on them. We're going to do a lazy squat. If you can do these without the blocks, and do your squat, holding your hands in the front or putting them on the ground. But for a long hold, again, I have good knees, I have good feet, so I have no problem with this pose for 3 minutes. But if this is not your cup of tea, remember, bring your blocks back, find out what height you want, sit on them. You're still doing a nice squat, but the idea is sit tall, breathe deep, allow that torso. It's on its own now. It has no support by any pose. So see how expanded it got over the morning, allowing the jump drawer to empty. Can play with the pose a little bit. You might surprise yourself that in a few minutes of being in the edge of this pose, you can remove the blocks and do a nice squat. The blocks on either side of the knees just allows you to hold that torso straight. I can't do this pose against a wall. I can't get my back far enough back. Quite active. There's a love-hate pose in every class, and this is probably it today. Working those toes, working the back to be nice and straight. What's your neck doing? Is it sitting on the top of your spine? Can you get your breath all the way to your belly? Okay, bring yourselves down. Remove your props. Our final pose of the day is going to be a forward rest. I need to sit up on the block a little bit. You will need your bolster if you have it. You can put your legs in Dandasana. You can put them in a butterfly. You can bring them in close, but if you do, I suggest that you support your knees so that you're not using any muscle through here. You're allowing them to relax. You can bring one leg in, one leg out. Whatever is a good position for you to sit in. I'm going to do Dandasana, so you get to look at the bottom of my feet, unless I turn. They're clean. Take your bolster and lay it over the front. You may have to start out with a block underneath. Bring the bolster under your chest. Lay forward in Dandasana. Feet are relaxed. Bring yourself down to your bolster, allowing the whole front of your area to relax. I'm having a difficult time here today. This was a little easier yesterday for me. Allow your head down. In a relaxed position. Arms are in a relaxed position. Spine is not doing any work. It's just allowing a lot of blood flow to be moving around since it's not active. So just because it's our last pose, don't let your mind wander into where you're going to go after class. Complete your class. Complete the time with your mat. Stay in the moment, at peace, breathing deep. I know it's February. Should have probably done a junk drawer clean out for February after the first of the year, but I just didn't think about it. Remove your bolster, blocks, sitting in a comfortable position, whatever is a good position for you. When I first designed this class, I had 90 minutes. So last night when I was going over, I went, no, 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 that's a little too long. So when I had to cut out some of the add-ons to a few of the poses we did, we ended up with about 15 minutes this morning. So it's not too bad. As I tell you every week, please, please, please take the time when I go off recording to do your Shavasana, whether it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't want to put a time frame on it for you. You need to stay there in Shavasana and relax. Think about what you've just done, the energy that you've given your body, where you're going to take that for the rest of the day. Monday morning, it's so good to have all of you with me, all of you here to share. Credit is credit where it's due. Yin comes from Qigong. Right hand in, left hand over. We'll do a namaste, and I'll hit the record button in a moment. And again, thank you. May you all be safe and free of harm. Okay. Shavasana to you guys. Love you. Thank you for enjoying me, for enjoying the class. Now, where's the recording button?